Iraqi dinar hits 9-month high against the US dollar. This is good. This means the Iraqi dinar has grown in value. It's not much of a jump, but if you put things in perspective, it seems like a pretty big jump, signaling a positive shift in the national currency value. We want this number right here, 145,950 to 100 US dollars, to go down. Iraqi dinar hits 9-month high against US dollar. Quote, the Iraqi dinar exchange rate has reached its highest level in the past 9 months, with the currency strengthening against the US dollar in both the Iraqi and Kurdistan region markets. Despite rumors surrounding potential sanctions on Iraqi banks, the exchange rate has remained stable, providing further confidence in the resilience of the Iraqi economy. At this point in the monetary reform, they are so close to giving the citizens the new exchange rate, which means we are so close to giving the new exchange rate to the enemy, to Parliament, and that's why Sudani wants all of the systems up and running, and that's why the Secretary of State came and made sure that's being done so we can detect every stealing that would occur. All of these moves from Sudani are because he's being guided by the United States Treasury and Donald Trump to make sure this time we hit the mark. Question: Mark, did Iraq ever revalue their currency before, or will this be the first time? Marks: Iraq has revalued its currency 4 times in the last 120 years. There is a lot of historic precedence for this. I believe it was in the 1970s that we last saw Iraq RV a major move up. Iraq's gold reserves rise to more than 17 trillion dinars. Quote, this has many benefits, as it enhances economic and financial stability, protects against risks, and is considered an important tool for intervening in the foreign exchange market. Parliament will not be suspended. Parliamentary Legal Committee reveals the plan for sessions during Ramadan. Quote, Iraqi Parliament will not be suspended early due to the upcoming legislative elections, stressing that the Council has a moral and constitutional responsibility to continue holding its sessions and approving the remaining laws. We started last year sending people to banks. We wanted them to see what banks would say. It turns out they were saying it's a scam. About 3 months later the banks changed their tunes and they started to say, we don't know anything. We don't have any information about that. And then recently at the beginning of the year, we know, but we can't talk about it, so leave me alone. All the bank stories we've gotten have been verifying this. People going, Pimpy, he's a negative guy. I don't understand how people get telling you the truth as something negative. Based on the directives of the Central Bank of Iraq, we warn all citizens not to use digital payment tools, actively deal with the Forex. Why would you be warning people about trading in digital currencies on the Forex if you weren't going? There's no reason to even bring it up. Al-Alak, Iraq has become one of the best countries in the world in controlling the sale of the dollar. Quote, Iraq has today become one of the best countries in the world in controlling the sale of the dollar, as this process is carried out with transparency and accuracy. Explaining that this mechanism is the most disciplined, transparent and controlled in the world, as indicated by international experts, highlighting these transformations and developments helps enhance international confidence in the Iraqi banking sector. Treasury imposes additional sanctions on Iran's shadow fleet as part of maximum pressure campaign. What do you do with a bad child? You send them to their room. Security and stability is so important for the monetary reform, it must not fail with the Iraqi citizens. At any snap of a finger it can fail with the Iraqi citizens, and if it does, the whole cards that are stacked up will fall apart. You want to talk about a delay? You want to talk about back to square one? The IQD will never be replaced with a cryptocurrency, as the crypto will be used for cross-border payments only. The new digital currency is not made to replace the IQD, it is made to make it work more efficiently. I believe this is how we will be paid for the RV. The IQD will not be stored in our reserves. This is all going to be unnecessary in the future world of fintech. This is also why I believe the RV is taking so long and Iraq is stalling with all their lame excuses that are illogical and do not make sense. That is my opinion based on the fact that K2 and Wyman are there now, schooling them on cross-border payments, which is a known fact. Representative Mukhtar al-Musawi confirmed today, Monday, that the United States directly supervises the financial system in Iraq, and is aware of the entire movement of money. Al-Musawi explained to Al-Maluma that the United States directly supervises the financial system in Iraq, and is fully aware of the movement of funds entering and exiting the country, which gives it broad economic influence that affects the financial decisions of the Iraqi government. Regarding the security official, Al-Musawi said that Iraq has recovered in terms of security and has become able to protect its lands from terrorist attacks, thanks to the development of the capabilities of the armed forces and the Popular Mobilization Forces, ruling out the possibility that Washington will use the ISIS terrorist organization card again, given the expected failure of such attempts in the face of the high security readiness enjoyed by the Iraqi military apparatuses. Al-Musawi criticized some parties that promote the possibility of the return of the threat of the terrorist organization, and an attempt to repeat the 2014 scenario, stressing that the security forces and the Popular Mobilization Forces are ready to thwart any terrorist activity that may target the country. According to observers, the United States is playing its suspicious role in Iraq, whether through economic intervention or waving the security card, which calls for a firm national position to end its guardianship and restore full sovereignty. Informed sources revealed, on Monday, that the Iraqi government has failed to oblige armed factions close to Iran to hand over their weapons and integrate into the official military establishment. The sources told Shafaq news agency, the past period witnessed unannounced dialogues between government parties from the team of Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani and a number of leaders of armed factions in order to hand over those factions' weapons and push them towards integration into the official Iraqi military institutions, and to leave any work outside the framework of the state. She added, after a round of dialogues and discussions, the factions categorically informed al-Sudani and his team of their complete refusal to surrender their weapons or integrate into any of the military institutions, and their emphasis on continuing the approach of resistance, and their complete readiness to defend Iraq and the Axis forces in the region. The sources indicated that the government informed the factions that this decision will push both the United States of America and Israel to take steps against it during the next stage, whether economic or military, and this will plunge Iraq into